Okay. Yeah. So Vashima, you're talking about collaboration, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we thought that we had set this up so that we can finish this body of work that we were working on, the pedagogical documentation, as like a design, maybe I don't know, methodology, or yeah, something. I'll let Hongkai and Joy take this, because they will need to be the ones writing it, and then communicating to the parents.
Yes.
So Joy has just jumped in quite. I think she has already been journeying with us, and she saw us that day. So Joy, you just feel like you're just, although it feels like you might be jumping in out from nowhere, but I think you've already been journeying with us. Okay. So this is like our Kickstarter deck that we're finishing. This is kind of like for ourselves. Then how are we going to communicate to the school, so don't mention the name of the school since we're recording, because we're not ready yet to mention their names in public, but we will just call it the school and the teachers. So we will have to very quickly by next Tuesday. That's why we were keeping the momentum, Vashima. But by next Tuesday, we will plan to go to the school and meet with the 3 layers of teachers in learning support unit, because they also need to get the information from us, and they want to select their students very soon, 5 students, and then we can meet the principal, the parents. So and in tandem, Hongkai, the deadline for that placemaking for the 80,000 one, I thought is an interesting exercise to just go for it, you know?
Yeah.
It's interesting to take this idea. I think from the last session, which was very long and heavy, Hongkai said zapped all of them out because we had spent the first session with Bernie, and then you jumped in and we spent another round, right? So this is kind of like the continuation of that. And what for me was coming to me, so this is my documentation of that day. Okay, so everybody can start documenting their interpretation of the sessions. But I thought it was an invite to fulfillment. I think at the end of the day, Bernie is undergoing her
operation
right now. Yes, she should be coming out of it already. So
she'll come up with new batteries.
Yes, she will have new battery in her heart, literally. She's so she was so empathic about this, you know, about fulfillment, and we've got all recording. So I think it's this. And if you want to change some of this wording, Vashima, but please do, or you want to keep this, it's okay. But I think
let's go sentence by sentence and invite to fulfillment.
Yeah, because I kind of look at it like this, right? We can't be anything but an invitation, because, and it has to be a relatable context, because we ended up with each person here having their unlocking their individual potential. So I saw it as that, like you said, we have to frame the inquiry, and then we all have individual initial context, right? There's some kind of connection, and then we have to do our group investigations and personal investigations, and there has to be a shift. So this is how I kind of interpreted what you shared the other day, and then we expanded the individual context. So for me, this is how I make sense of everything, right? And then we have new inquiry, and then we can do this like a 6 months journey. With and I put down here students, parents, teachers, stewards, apprentices, popples, you know. So
let's go back with student, parents, and teachers, so we know who this is for, who the invitation is for.
This is BB Lighthouse, hosted by BB LightHouse Keepers and ambassadors. So immediately now the ambassadors are going to be working. This is like the mission or the task undertaken, right? Or the group project undertaken by the Keepers ambassadors.
Okay. One second. I want to go back into this bit about an invite to fulfillment and pedagogical documentation. So what is fulfillment to do with pedagogical documentation of discovery? Fulfillment and discovery, but the tool that we are using is the pedagogical documentation. So the process, that's the process. So it can't be, to me, it says, go back to the same slide where we had it. Then you tell me where you linked it up with. So it's an invite to fulfillment and discovery, because it and the tool is the pedagogical documentation.
Okay, so to invite to fulfillment and discovery. Discovery.
Because it can't be a discovery.
Yeah,
the tool that we will
pedagogical documentation. Oh, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. This is super. See how we work together? we
so where there
work together so
there is a host.
That you see.
So people, students and parents and teachers are being invited to discover fulfillment, or to discover, to invite to fulfillment. Now that's the part I feel is missing something. And invite to fulfillment. Fulfillment of what? Discovery, we know. Fulfillment of what? So that's the part where I would look at it, that people in their minds, we know the context, remember? We know the context, but the others don't know the context. So it's invite to the discovery of fulfillment. Yes, that makes sense. But because fulfillment is an ongoing discovery, you can't say today I'm fulfilled, so tomorrow forever I'm fulfilled.
It's like what we learn in our formation, right? It's like you have to keep recreating it. Then it's fresh, isn't it? Because if you have no new insights, you have no new inquiry, you have no.
So what happens is, a lot of people can tell themselves, well, we are discovering new parts of us, we're discovering new skills, we're discovering new ways of thinking, all of that, but yet I don't feel fulfilled. Yes, I feel a vacuum, I feel chaotic, I feel confused, I feel I don't know where I'm going. So all of that stands between you and your discovery journey, this journey of discovery and fulfillment. So how do you feel fulfilled while you're on the journey? And that's what, through the pedagogical documentation, helps you to see that. It doesn't lead you there, but it shows you where your dissatisfaction is, where your blocks are, where your road journey has met with a block. So an invite to the discovery of fulfillment. So we're talking about even very successful minds, very successful students, parents, and teachers, and yet there would be, the success doesn't determine their fulfillment.
This is coming to where Bernie was always emphasizing. So that's really where our unity of our starting point is, you know. That's so while you say, while the School of Life offers the universal life tools, the outcomes are unique to the individual. So they may have the success and all that, but they don't have fulfillment, right? So what we're trying to spark, I suppose, right?
So what happens when there is no fulfillment? Let's look at that malaise. Let's look at why do I have to be fulfilled? Why is fulfillment so important?
Why is fulfillment so important? Okay, let's open this up for Joy and Hong Kai.
I mean, I'm successful, but I may not be fulfilled. So what's the problem? So that's the research question we need to kind of go into.
Okay, let's start writing that down. Well, okay, Vashima, what do you say? What happens when there's no fulfillment? What was your exact?
Yeah, why is fulfillment so important?
Okay, why is fulfillment so important
to our well-being?
Okay. okay, not going to, so these are, we're beginning the possible research inquiries, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So these are kind of like the pedagogical provocations. Okay, so we will kind of simplify this into a process a little bit. So we just say research inquiries. Correct? Is that how we do it? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, correct.
So Hongkai and Joy, how would you respond to this? Because we are learning
Also,
how to do
let's
this
connect
process.
it to,
Yeah.
let's also connect it to our own experiences. So let's not go into theories of others or what is already established by somebody else. This is our own exploration. So Hongkai and Joy can look at their own context and say what it means for them to have a highly successful day and yet not feel fulfilled. How does that lead? How does that show in your stress levels? How does it show in your feeling of competent? How lack of it makes you feel tired? Whereas we're supposed to be working and we are supposed to be looking at our well-being as energizing. So what is it that unfulfillment creates, the kind of emotions they create?
I think it creates comfort.
Can you elaborate? Yeah.
Like when I was doing my traineeship, I mean, a successful day for me would probably be me being able to deliver all the tasks that Verena asked me to do. So if I'm able to do all of them, then because I'm working from home, then I feel like, oh, that's all I need to do for the rest of the day. That's all I've done. As in, that's all I need. As in, I can stop, and then I can proceed on to do other stuff of my own. So I create a threshold for myself, and I let myself feel comfortable. So I didn't. Eventually, I stopped trying to go beyond what I needed to do. So what Ping An always exhibit, the excitement of trying something new, even if it's unfamiliar, I stopped feeling that. I stopped looking forward like to that excitement. It felt like it was okay that I just live life like that, feeling comfortable in what I need to do, and that's all. Yeah, so I wasn't seeking out more than what I could imagine myself doing. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, there's lots of gems hidden in your own
Yeah.
experience.
Seeking possibilities. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. No excitement even. Huh?
So can we say that lack
unknown.
of fulfillment causes or takes away your excitement and your zest and your capacity to stay excited about few things or something like that?
Yes,
Does
I
that
think
mean?
it diminishes my capacity to respond to changes.
Okay,
Because
that's
it's so
a great
comfortable.
sentence. That's a great sentence.
Yeah. Diminishes. Tasha is coming in. Diminishes capacity to change. Did you say that?
To respond to changes.
Okay, respond to changes.
And today's world is all about building capacities to manage ambiguity, to navigate change. So if we are not fulfilled, we are not ready for embracing the change. And then it causes stress.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. This is big, huh? Hongkai, thanks for sharing that. Wow, this is a lot of self-awareness on your part and a lot of courage to be honest as well about it, it's a wow. Okay. See how this goes. This is so cool. Tasha, how are you? Where's Tasha? Tasha, do you have your video
your
on?
truth, your
Sorry,
truth and
I'm keeping in.
No worries.
Sorry,
no
sorry,
worries.
sorry, sorry.
Sorry.
No problem.
Sorry. You're late again, Tasha. What happened?
I thought it was at 3:30. Sorry, I'm keeping in.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so Tasha, you never have to apologize for your muddling up of time or my muddling out of time or anybody's. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, Tasha, turn on your video. Tasha, Vashima is with us.
Hi, Tasha. So we can come up as part of exploration a longer list of symptoms that we all experience when we don't touch that sense of fulfillment in our daily actions and work.
Okay, so maybe Joy, you want to go next? So Tasha, we are doing our own kind of exploration and I suppose preparation of learning how to do this pedagogical documentation process. And we're starting with research inquiries. So Vashima is transmitting to us now. this step one. Vashima, we all need step one, step two. We can't do it the fluid kind of way. So
okay, so step one, we are still at step one. We are still exploring.
Yeah,
we're still at step one. We are still exploring our own context, our own being when I am not fulfilled or feel fulfilled in my daily work, routine, action, life, relationships, work response, chores. So what happens to us? So we're looking at some of the emotional and physical signs of all of this. And what Honkai said, that if you're not fulfilled, then you get comfortable with just delivering tasks. So when you deliver tasks, it's mechanical, right? You're delivering because you need to do, you have a list of targets to meet. Of course, it's beautiful because it's a disciplined mind. Not many people can achieve all what they have on their to-do list. But when you have a to-do list and yet by the end of it, you don't feel so fulfilled, then that becomes an area of research for yourself as to why am I not feeling fulfilled and what is it that I'm experiencing. So what Honkai kind of explored was that comfort zone. So it's maybe you get into your comfort zone where you deliver tasks meticulously and then you stop trying to go beyond that. You've done your list and that's it. I'm done. No longer seeking possibilities. So your appetite for playing with possibilities, playing with what else is there that would hold my attention, how else, and that's where the creativity comes. Mechanical will always be countered by creativity. So if you're mechanically involved, then your creativity aspect, which is energizing, will be compromised. So then Honkai said that there is no excitement from discovery of the unknown, because I already feel my mind is shut to new possibilities. My mind is shut to the change, or I'm just comfortable with the routine. I know when I come here, I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 10, 12, and I've done it, and that's end of the day. So the part of you which is creativity is part of creation. Creation is always energizing, is always keeping you out of your comfort zone, because you're constantly trying. Your mind is looking at different ways of engagement. So that in many scenarios is very energizing. You might feel at a loss. You might feel a bit confused, but there is still not a lack of energy. There is some enthusiasm that, God, I want to go back to it. I want to see how else, what else. So these are all emotions that are positive and that keep you from, that get you closer to playing with new possibilities. And that's where discovery comes in. So with mechanical, there is a bit of boredom. And with the boredom, there is lack of energy. With creativity, it is energizing and there's a surge of energy. If you're looking at your own experience, then you're able to see that clearly. So that's what we are doing. We are looking at, if I'm not fulfilled, what is it that is not fulfilling? What are the symptoms in my persona, in my everyday being, that I feel either bored, or I feel drained, or I feel stressed, or I feel not excited, I feel lack of energy, I feel, oh, do I have to? There is no bounce in your steps. So you see a bored child, bored children, what do they get after? Either they'll become a recluse or they'll become extremely naughty or destructive. But that's the energy which we need to channelize in ourselves. So we'll go deeper, but what we are looking right now is our own, and Penyan and I will also share. We'll also share how a day unfulfilled, or an act unfulfilled, or a task unfulfilled, how does it take a toll on our physical and emotional being? Does that make sense, Honkai?
Yes, I follow.
Okay, so we'll only come to know this as we explore each other's perspectives and each other's experiences.
So you can explore tasks. You say day. You say act. These are all the actions. Huh? So we're actually exploring.
So what we have done,
mindset, right? Because boredom
Yeah.
is like a mindset, right?
Yeah.
Or state of being. Boredom,
Yeah.
I think, is a state of being. Okay.
You know, when we were dealing with teachers, there were few teachers who felt very fulfilled in their work with children. And you give them new ideas and they would be bouncing and tell me that we can't wait to go tomorrow. And there would be the others who would be so unfulfilled in their being, that they would look at, oh my God, another one that Vashima has come up with. Do we have to? So what we are exploring is, what is that mind that feels
It's a mindset, huh?
What is that mind?
What is
that
fulfillment
feels,
mindset, huh?
Yeah.
What is a fulfilled mindset? And we're examining what isn't a fulfilled mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting that you say that. Some will just immediately, no matter what you say, will give you the most negative outcome, you know? And then it's like, the energy just goes down. They haven't even tried it. It's just, you suggest it and they're like, I don't do it. It won't work. So what is that state of being, right?
And most of us, through our schooling experiences, through our personal relationships, our family situations, our work experiences, our inability to find time for very nourishing reflections, lack of mentors, we often get ourselves into those situations where you're in a rut. You know that phrase, where I'm in a rut, where I go in loops because my negative energy then takes over and I feel I can't do it, or I feel it's okay just doing work for somebody else's pleasure. You know, because boss needs it done, I do it. I don't believe in it, but I still do it. So what is those areas that impact the students, the teachers, the parents, and everybody? So we're exploring it, because once we become aware of it, then we can engage in activities that are fulfilling. Then we can engage in developing mindsets that is ready to take on much more than what we think we can.
So I'm hearing, how do we understand? How do we...
And very disciplined minds often go through the motion, but by the end of it, they feel burnout. We've all heard that, right? Because we all are disciplined. So we do what needs to be done, but without really checking on our well-being. So we burn out.
How do we... How do we design environments, right? What happens? Or how do we design environments to... It's not cure it. How do we design environments to shine light on it? I don't know. To, how do we say, to reverse it? How to improve it?
To build our capacities to deal with
to build capacities. To build capacities.
Because we are all competent, and yet we need to match our capacity to we need to raise our capacities to tap our potential, or tap our competencies, right? Without burnout.
To build capacities.
Nourishing capacities. Nourishing capacities.
To tap into, to unlock our potential, okay?
Yes.
To unlock our potentials. Actually, you know what it is? It's to build your own competencies, to strengthen, to deepen and strengthen our...
Can you break that sentence? It's too much of
okay, I'll just break it all as separate sentences, okay? But then we have so many, you know. Yeah. But I think it's okay. At least it keeps illustrating, right?
Yeah, we'll make it by the end of it. We'll take away every extra word and make it as simple as possible, so that the reader or the person who receives it can easily grasp it. There's no need for us to sit and explain what we have already written.
So we're endeavoring to turn this thing into a pedagogical documentation as well as a guide.
Honkai, because he's so good with his trimming and his capacity to make it simple, then they can work on it again.
Yeah. So these are just like our study notes.
These are our points.
These are points, This is just a documentation of our thinking, you know.
So a good documentation should be able to hold the attention of the reader. So it should not inundate or confuse, or it can create a bit of dissonance in the reader's mind, but it can't. It has to be relatable. It has to be able to raise new questions and new perspectives through the documentation. So it can't be it can't create further confusion. A good documentation will throw light and clarity.
Well, that's why we are BB LightHouse, isn't it? And we have a whole library of documentation. throw light and clarity. So clarity helps. Clarity always helps, because you get you get like confused, you get like tired if you're confused, you know.
You shut
So
down when you're confused because you don't want to deal with that which your brain doesn't understand.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
confusion
even if your
is
heart,
can feel quite terrifying, you know, confusion. It's very strange, but it's a very strange way of saying it. But I think a lot of people suffer from trauma from confusion even.
yeah, because the brain can't process, or anything that you can't process, like it's like you put all the hard stuff in a
Yeah.
blender and you start blending, it makes much bigger noise and doesn't blend well. So the same thing, you put heavy ideas into your brain and it resists. Some brains take the intellectual part of it. That's why in our environment, the head and heart and hands, they're not truncated, they're not separated. We are thinking through our heart, and we are also helping our mind and heart and brain and all our intellectual faculties through our heart. That's what is nourishing, because it doesn't mean that when I'm engaged in pedagogical documentation, I'm devoid of my emotions. So we are not truncated, we are not separate. Hand, heart, head, it's all integrated. So a nourishing environment allows these tools for total integration in making our learning, our feeling, our thinking visible through the pedagogical documentation. So that's how it is different from, say, the minutes of the meeting. That's how it is different from putting up a big chart with the events. This happened, that happened, this happened, this is what. So it's not mechanical. It has everything integrated in how we arrive at our questions. How do we seek exploration? How the self is equally in it. It's not somebody else, it is ourselves.
Okay.
And hence, pedagogical documentation is an act of love. Because we are dealing with each other, we are dealing with each other's heart, it's not punitive. Like, unless, you know, it's a safe environment. So a nourishing environment is also a safe environment.
You can come here, Ki. Come. You come and sit. You want to join this lesson? Okay, you can join this.
Hi, Keith.
Come here. Keith, this is lesson. Come sit down. Have a look. Who's there? No? Okay, he just wants to be in the room.
Hi, Keith. Can you see Vashima?
Hello, Keith.
Keith, look, everyone's here. Oh, he finds a lot of comfort. It's a strange on the way to say comfort, but this is how he, like how we've been relating. I'm starting to realize this is the nourishing environment that we've built for each other, because I have to work as a working mom, and he likes being with me when I'm working, and he's kind of found usually, so now it's his school holidays, so he has this while growing up, so now he's 14, so even in school holidays, so he will start taking out his books, you know, he's on the bed now, and the other day it was so beautiful, I'm like, total silence. Do you hear him? I'm 14 years old. You want to come in? Come sit and join. Yeah. So he's kind of listening in. So this is how he's created his own space of safety. So
that's right.
So when you are hosting the BB Lighthouse as BB Lighthouse Keepers, you know, some of these dynamics you have to be aware of. You can't say, okay, everybody has to sit down. Everybody has to, you know. So it's a very, like you say, hosting, it's an act of love. Huh? What were you saying before he came in? A nourishing space, a nourishing. Safe. So how do you feel so far, Joy and Tasha? How do you feel so far?
Yeah, I feel it's very interesting, and for me, it's like, because as you know that my job is in the sales and marketing department, so it's kind of like a part of my job is not depend on myself, it's depend on the luck. You know, whether your clients have such a request, or suddenly that they decided to postpone the project due to some reason that's out of your control. This happen every day. So you need to, for me, I need to, you know, as a human being, I feel some of the time feel lost, or feel I'm not capable of doing something. I can't control myself of that feeling of unfulfillment. So by listening to you guys, I try to digest this emotion and analyze this emotion into, or say it in another way, so that I can try to eliminate them in myself. So it makes me feel better. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Joy, for sharing. Yes, all our contexts are so beautifully different, and yet we have similarities in the way in our coping mechanisms, you know. So yeah,
so she was saying with her work was more, how would I put it, chance, right? Very chance based. So you become unfulfilled in that way, right? Then, so basically you did not meet your goals. Is that right? Is that how you became unfulfilled?
Can I share also?
Oh, sure.
No, I think what Joy is trying to say is that I don't know I don't know how accurate my interpretation is that, I mean, in social work as well, a lot of times we feel like we have done ample preparation, we have really prepared extensively, but then because we are working with other people and trying to get other people to buy in, which oftentimes is which involves a big element of luck, which is something outside of our control. So at the end of the day, despite doing a lot, we still feel lost when our clients don't change or don't buy the things that we want them to buy from us. So it feels like then we end up asking ourselves, have we really done enough? And then then for myself, I feel like, oh, I'm still not experienced enough. I grew so slowly. This is not giving me the satisfaction I need. Yeah, so then in the end I feel burnt out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Feelings of I did not prepare or do enough. Huh?
We might feel that way, but the fact is we have actually done a lot.
Yeah, feelings.
That's
why I said
yeah.
feelings
Yeah.
of kind of
And also,
in yeah. I
yeah,
guess you're kind of okay. I don't know what to call this, but so a lot of things are outside of your control.
yeah, and also that you don't know whether it's outside of your control or not. You don't know whether it's because you're not so-called smart enough, or you didn't use a good strategy, or you didn't have enough knowledge in this area, or you just unlucky. So you know that for some of my colleagues, they can save very bad situation, but I wouldn't be able to do this. So for example, that if the client wants to postpone such a project because they do not have enough finance support, so some of my colleagues may have some solutions. For example, that we can split the payment into several months, or we can support you in another way. They always have a lot of different methods. So this is just a simple example. However, we do have a lot of more complicated issues, and some of the time it's not the problem, the difficulty is not so apparent. Some of the difficulties because on the client side, there are some people that are not supporting this project, but you don't know about it. It's very common. It's very common. But some of my colleagues will be able to know that. But for me, it's just unluck. But some of them, they know it's not about unluck. It's because in our previous discussion, we didn't mention something so that some of the supporters that don't support us anymore, they know the reason for that. So I can't say everything is about unluck, but what I can say is that everything that I feel unlucky previously was because of me. So you can't have a clear definition of whether it's unluck or you're not capable of doing it. So in the end, yeah, you just get lost. Yeah, it's not
okay.
and there is no right answer for that. You can't compare yourself to a so-called correct answer. So you don't know whether you're wrong or you just things happen. You don't know about it. You will never know about it. Yeah. So
it's like
just slowly digest the emotion and just try to improve yourself, but you still know that you may make some mistakes. So whenever I talk to my clients, I'm constantly thinking that is this a correct sentence I need to say? Will this trigger some other action or reaction that they will never let me know? So it's very complicated. And you know that previously that I feel it's very easy to make friends. But now it's hard for me to make friends with my other clients because that I don't want them to be angry about whatever I said, or I don't want them to feel uncomfortable about whatever I said. Yeah, so it's a kind of a complicated situation for me. I'm not sure whether it's this because I'm a girl, so I'm more sensitive about it, or I intend to doubt more about myself. I just feel it's very complicated. It's a black box for me.
Yes, black box.
black box. Black box. I like that. Black box.
Because you can't see into what people are thinking, or like how people will respond to whatever you've done.
Black box zone. You got comfort zone, now you got black box zone. You like that? Okay. Okay. Tasha, what about you? What do you think? What happens when you feel unfulfilled?
As Hong Kai said, the question always comes into my mind, have I done enough? Am I doing enough? Am I capable of doing all this? It does come into my mind.
Have I done enough?
Yeah, that's coming to my mind.
Or am I capable of this skill? Hey, this is an interesting one. Am I allowed to respond to this, Vashima?
Yeah, please do.
Huh?
Please do. Please do. Yes. I'm listening. I'm all ears.
I have a thick skin zone, you know. I don't know why, whether I've always had it or I've developed it along the years. I have a thick skin zone. When something doesn't go my way, it doesn't go my way as a fact. That's it. And I just take it all as just facts. I observe, ding, ding, ding. I try this and then I try this and then I try this. But I think I rarely, that's not fair. So I think I do beat myself up, but not in an unfulfilled way. Even when I beat myself up, I'm actually very fulfilled beating myself up. Yeah, I feel like I'm learning. I feel like I'm growing from this. So even it's a lot of hardship, you know, hardship, right? I mean, there are very bad days. I go to Vashima and then she sayang me, and then okay, the next day I just, you know, and then I have a coping mechanism of looking for sayang, you know, that's when I become a lot of friends. So it's but it's not, but how do I say, it's not I allow it to grow me rather than to stuck me, rather than to define me. That's right. I don't let those negative experiences define me. So my thrust is, I am always defining the situation, the what, but not in an arrogant manner, as in a studying the situation manner. So even positive emotions and negative emotions, they are also emotions that are being studied and observed. Does that make sense, Vashima?
Yes, yes, of course. Because again, what happens is an unfulfilled mind will very quickly get into self-doubt. But a completely fulfilled mind may get you complacent also.
Complacent zone.
Yeah. So we want to not be that fulfilled that we don't need to do anything. You know what I mean? It's that part of it. So but also if we look at fulfillment and take it personally to our self-doubt zone, then it diminishes.
So this black box is self-doubt, huh?
Yeah, so self-doubt has to be not looked at it personally, but what other strategy could help. So you're learning from your everyday life. You're learning from every experience. So a fulfillment also keeps you as an everyday researcher. That's the area that we want to work on. It's not that today I failed, so I am a failure. It doesn't come to that conclusion. I failed. Again, these things are practiced, first understood, first explored, then it makes sense to us. Then we are constantly working on it till it becomes our second nature. So it's a long journey of self in playing with possibilities.
So when you're complacent, you're also not learning, right? Don't want
if
to
you're
learn,
complacent, like it's, you know, what are the symptoms of a completely satisfied mind? What are this? Like a totally satiated satiety is like absolutely till the brave we eat. It's a very uncomfortable feeling also, right? If you stuffed yourself, fulfilled, like stomach is completely full.
Indigestion.
Yeah, so either you come up being very pompous, or you come up being very smarty pants, or you come up. So those are the other dangers of going the other extreme. So a learning mind, like a parent who's given everything and doesn't have any need to, say, I've given everything, that's all it is. A parent will also feel unfulfilled when you don't see the desired results, right? So our results, or our everyday response, our everyday observations of ourselves and life around us will keep us a very healthy learner. Every day I'm learning. Every day we are learning new ways of doing stuff, new strategies, new approach, trying out. If this didn't work, let's try this way. But in that trying another way doesn't diminish us. It reignites us, because I don't take it personally that I'm no good, I'm not smart enough. As long as you are an everyday learner, you're very bloody smart in this world.
Oh, Vashima, look at this. We're talking about pedagogical documentation, right? So this is the story of the everyday researcher. Yeah. The story side.
And again, if I keep self-doubting, then I am a work upon myself. It's not the outside world alone. And that means I'm looking at, okay, this didn't work. I prepared so much and it failed. Maybe I didn't. So you question yourself. You're an everyday researcher. What do you think didn't have a desired result? What do you think the research tells? Like once, I don't know if Joy and Hong Kai know that I work in a nonprofit field, and I was talking to one of the very, very well-established social worker who got many accolades. And so when she and I, we were having a heart-to-heart talk, she told me, Vashima, it takes 14 years to change around one family. And I said, what nonsense? She said, research says that it takes 14 years to turn around one family. So even if you've made little progress, you don't have to beat yourself up, because change is not that easy. But how do we not deplete our own energies in trying to work in a non-profit organization? So that's a work upon yourself. So long time ago, then again, the then former president, Nathan, had come to my center, and he had said, and this is soon after that lady, that social worker had told me it takes 14 years, research says. And here I was telling them, oh, a 4-year-old child, we can change a 4-year-old child in few months, in few weeks, in few actions, in few this thing. But then that change is not long lasting, because they go back to the environment, which is depleting them. So you build them up, and the environment they are in breaks them up. So it's 2 steps forward, 1 step backward. So your journey becomes slow. So then President Nathan had told me, Vashima, even if you touch one life, one family, that's good enough. So coming from him, I stopped beating myself up, because you can only do that much, provided you are constantly learning from the family that you're helping, learning from the clients that you're helping, learning from the children you're working for, learning from what is it that they want, what is it that they desire, what is it that they have the capacity to build. So there are lots and lots of other factors. It's just not your own preparation that needs to be faulted or faulty. So we work, so that's where collaborative work, even community collaboration, that you don't just legislate a change, but change is a slow process, and you have to take people along to seeing what the change will do to them. And then they have been stuck with lots of disappointments, they live with mistrust. So to replace their mistrust with your genuine hand of wanting to see good, it takes bridges, and that's where pedagogy of relationship comes in. So a pedagogical documentation works deeply with pedagogy of listening.
Oh, sorry guys, I need to leave for another meeting right now.
Okay.
Training session for me.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Joy. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to the next meeting. Thanks.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Joy.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah.
Have a lovely day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, Vashima, you were saying, so the pedagogical documentation essentially, so I'm kind of just writing all this down: nourishing environment, relationship, and a
Pedagogy of relationship.
Yeah, it's a pedagogy of relationship that
because I am not like my head, heart, and hands are not disconnected. I'm integrated. Similarly, I'm connected to my family, my neighborhood, my context, my country. So everything is connected. We are not island in isolation. We're all deeply connected. So the connection leads us to work on this relationship, because relationship will generate trust, whether it is relationship with the boss, with the spouse, with our children, with our community, because all of us have had we are scarred, whether we know it or not. We are scarred and we are a little bit wary of the other. So that's why when we talk about placemaking of an environment, we are putting back all these elements for harmonious exploration, for a very safe exploration to us, to ourselves, and to us in the world. See, none of this can be explored at individual or collective levels by one person giving all the answers, right? There are no right or wrong answers, because it's a journey with self in the world.
The journey of the self in the world.
But see, when I say journey of self in the world, just that sentence doesn't make sense unless we have, you know, we can put through very understandable language, because we understand this now because we've had so much of conversation before that. So we can't pick up phrases in isolation.
Okay, so I've noted all this on this slide already.
I think at this stage, leave it at this, and let's go through another round of, say, Honkai or Natasha or you and me, whatever, we can do it individually. Just go through simplifying or putting it down the way we understand it, you know, and then it'll come up with it.
Yeah, so we have to come up with a written document, simple one, you know, 1 to 2 page
a very
maximum,
simple one.
a simple one for the teachers. I think Honkai, I think it's best you just draft it as the first round. Huh? Vashima,
my faith in Honkai after that first one was supremely impressive. You know why? Because he takes on these ideas. We are so in it that we can't simplify it further, but he picks it up and he puts it in our everyday language so that it is understood. So that's a skill that we need from somebody who's making sense of it while we are exploring. So that's a completely different, very, very highly developed skill, Honkai, what you have.
I think it's funny that you are saying this, because by myself, I tend to be the person to like type very long, convoluted sentences in my emails, you know, to get my point across, because I'm so scared that others won't understand what I'm trying to say. So I end up typing very long messages. So, and like what you said, and it's over my schooling years and all, after my friends repeatedly told me to try to simplify, make my messages concise, so that my teachers will be able to understand what I'm trying to say, and my bosses will find the time to read not so long emails, that I managed to like kind of develop this, that I tried to be mindful.
So now you have a good balance. So your balance is just beautiful, because some of these ideas can't be very bullet points also, you know.
Your email to us was perfection, you know. Okay, so
but it's in the corporate world, it's not encouraged to write long emails.
We have different communications with different worlds, so it's okay. So this is not a corporate world. This is communicating from the head, hand, and heart. to the parents and the teachers who are entrusting their child and their students to us, right? I mean, they don't know us from, and we are not like those people with certificate. I don't know, but they are trusting us from their gut feel, from, almost.
And again, we are not expecting them to listen to all of this.
Yeah.
And then make up their mind. So the essence goes into the paper. So making this available that, okay, listen to this, how we do it. People don't have that much time. They don't have that capacity or that interest, because today's world has made us really wary of time. How much time will it take? We are in a quick kind of this thing. So I understand where you are coming from, but the style that I am really admiring and appreciating is the clarity in your conveying these ideas.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so don't expect that anyone then all of us are going to sit and listen to this and figure out, because that's what exploration is all about. It doesn't have to make sense to person who's not there and doesn't have a relationship and doesn't have the context. So some of this is very, what would I say, very time consuming to be able to listen and then make sense to it.
And I think you have already listened into, since we started the BB studios, open studios, you've read all the documentation, you've invested, you've spent a lot of time with all of us already. You listen to the youth stewards, you listen to the Alan and Tasha. So I think just write something. Don't worry if it's too long, too short, See, remember how I was writing the grant? I just went at it, right? Because Vashima said, just go, and then you can edit it later. It doesn't matter, but the material is out,
Also, Hongkai, what's on your side is your relatability to the younger generation. That to me is priceless. That's your unique context. See, that's not my context. That's not Peck's context. So you are the most relatable. You can understand the dilemmas. You can understand the anxiety. You can understand the self-doubts. You can understand the work environment. You can understand the struggles. You can understand the challenges. Hence, you are able to put across the idea the way you think it helps, So that's important for the lighthouse keepers and ambassadors to have that additional advantage. So you have an additional advantage. That's what I'm admiring.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. So Hongkai, you get your input from Vashima already? You think you're okay already?
I think I'm good to go. Yeah.
Fantastic. I think he's
and
got
also
it.
Yeah, perfect. And also if some points miss out, it doesn't matter, because you're not it's like the idea that needs to be conveyed, not every detail, because this is not that paper where every detail and minutest detail, or we didn't say we'll do this and then we did this, or we said we'll do this but we didn't do it. So it's none of those extra additional burden on our heads. This is a pure idea, and we're relating it to the best of our capacity to create that environment and inviting you. So keep it as simple as possible. Then people will be able to grasp it.
Okay.
Superb. Big hug to you, Hongkai.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I forgot to take a photo with Joy, but yes. So, see, fantastic. For today. So, y'all let me know when you're ready, and Vashima know. So, but I think we will go to the school on Tuesday. So you do your ART test on Monday.
Okay.
The thing is, my mom is not really comfortable with me going to the school.
Okay, then don't, Tasha. Don't worry. Then we will just.
My mom really isn't comfortable with me being there.
Okay. Then why don't we, for you, you don't travel in the whole of October until October 25th. Okay. The cases are very, very high. Yeah. So don't worry about anything, Tasha. Yeah.
I'll be going for another Zoom meeting very shortly. So I love
Okay.
you.
Love you
And
all.
take
Okay.
care.
Bye-bye.
And
Bye.
lots and
Bye.
lots of love.
We just flow, okay, everybody?
Okay.
It's
All
chill.
right.
Okay.
Chill. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.